Good evening and welcome to the KILI Storytelling Hour. And I want to thank all of you who are listening. And before I go on, this is Brian, Charging Cloud. And I have a guest here, so I will introduce him when I finish this introduction. And I would like to thank KILI Radio for this show. We're up here from 5 to 6 on Wednesdays, but this afternoon we're here and we won't make any excuses. It is just hot out there, too hot. And so again, I want to thank all of you who listens to this show, and 88.7 in Rapid City, on the internet, kiliradio.org. And this evening we have on the computer, I see maybe 4 items, story, and we will tell you what that is when we get to it. I have some things on the Lakota language. I always touch on the Lakota language when I come up here. And then I have some announcements that will be happening on Saturday. So once again, welcome to the KILI Storytelling Hour. Lechtai tu kile machpia atchak pemie chalecha makata wahina wo yake nesh nakun wothain hechikche na nakun le Lakota yape kile ohenya iwaglak. Chatona nagup to nakab heni ha li la pilama yape na lel semni wan chiwahi toksha wiglak cha tona nagup to nakab hena KILI la pilang yap na lechta to kitala mozash kan zaptan chan wa hish khalet lilo khate cha ahia nkut Cha anagup tan kapo in little takuku unkahipe na ha lila iblablish ni hani tho in tua kalil washitya shout outs apsa chan ket ho in Dr. Butterbro lila tan woglak na ha anagup tan ashna Dr. Butterbro woglak cha in khanlikhta to ki wo e wa yuhahi me ata wahik to ha takuku ibuluk chas ata just hetakuk slovashni rhubarb khaim vikoshkala kam meni luza hay chat hamas ap na solashke chankaya nagofta nakahechi rozli ali ata nikili elo honana kuntho in paha toshka paha nagofta nakahechi Tohti uo na elila khtaatu washteyo hayo kolona kontrakoja pte ole hokshila henak khtaatu ke Breland khtaatu washteyo hayo. So I will let my the guest introduce himself, and I'll turn the mic over to the guest now.
Okay, thank you, Brian. My name is Dennis Gills, and I am a school employee of the Chunke Ope, so Wounded Knee District School, and I came here from Michigan. I was born Oglala, Lakota, and I spent my childhood in Michigan. And once I graduated high school, I went on to serve in the United States Army for 10 years.
10 years.
Traveled, 4 different continents. Traveled everywhere. I've traveled to 46 out of the 50 states, and I can say that I'm finally home on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in Manderson.
Welcome back.
My family, the Ghost family, has been around the Manderson area since the beginning of time, it seems like.
Since the beginning, time immemorial.
Exactly. And what makes me the most proudest is that everywhere I go in Manderson, I'm related to somebody.
Yes.
That makes my world just a little bit bigger, and my heart a little bit bigger, knowing that I have much family out there. So I can honestly say that Pine Ridge is it's a beautiful place. Manderson is a beautiful place, and I really like the people. I feel welcome, and I couldn't be happier at this point in my life, that knowing you never come full circle, but this is as close as that I will ever come. And I work with Brian and Delmer One Feather, Tabor White Buffalo, and Wendy Apple, doing the cultural studies at Wounded Knee. And my knowledge, I thought I've learned a lot of things in my life, but everything just pales in comparison to what I've learned in the last 2 weeks about who I really am as an Oglala Indian. That just makes me so happy to call myself
Lakota.
Lakota. I absolutely love it. Starting to learn the language, the prayers, the honor songs. I'll be able to work with Tabor White Buffalo, doing the hand games for TWO in the fall. Absolutely makes me so happy.
Yes, hand games is very important for anybody, especially for our children. It's a Lakota game, and it brings it teaches you competitiveness, and also it teaches you how to win.
Exactly.
It teaches you losing.
Yep.
So that when you lose, you show your character.
Yes.
You don't just walk away. And then when you win, then you shake hands and learn how to win. And then it brings people together, like in the old days when people, they have these games, and it brings the people together, and through the competitiveness, once again, they become friends.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
So I want to welcome you back to the Oglala Nation.
Thank you.
Oglala Lakota Nation. And Dennis, today, I know not only today, but ever since he came back, he's been really into the culture. And today, this morning when I walked in there, we mentioned that in 2 days, something happened. In 2 days, that date, on June 25, 1876, something happened that we always remember in a place called Greasy Grass. And today, Dennis was really interested in that, and I wanted him to share what he thinks about that, or what he knows about it. And I know that I have a couple of paragraphs on that.
Yes.
So I'll read it, and then I'll let you do your. And what I have here is just a turning point in history.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And then it says, and here's what I have. On a hot summer day in 1876, hundreds of U.S. Army soldiers and Lakota warriors spurred their horses into a battle that would become a legend, the Battle of the Little Bighorn. And that would happen on June 25th, 1876.
1876.
And the battle also marked a turning point in American history. It was the most horrible defeat ever suffered by the U.S. Army at the hands of the Lakota.
Yes.
And this, even today, and I think we shared that. We shared that, you and I, is that even today, this the word strategic, the word tactical,
yes,
is studied and maybe talked about in places like West Point.
They still have classes, specifically on Crazy Horse, specifically on how it happens so fast. Just how you can, there was a lot of warriors there, and it just seemed that they knew what to do.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of people yelling orders. Everybody just seemed to know what to do. Whether because the Lakota have battled for so long that this wasn't just another fight.
Yeah.
They were fighting for who they were, for their grounds, and it just so happened that General Custer, his hometown is near where I grew up in Kalamazoo, Michigan. They have a Fort Custer in Battle Creek, Michigan.
Yeah.
It's an army post, and I took it for granted until I started reading more about my culture, knowing that this man was the most egotistical person on the face of the earth. Basically, there was a lot of Lakota that were surprised, and Cheyenne, that were surprised that he would actually try to engage them in battle.
Yeah.
The arrogance alone. Because I served in the army.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of young soldiers there that were killed, just so Custer could try to prove a point. Not knowing exactly that he was in way over his head. And I was talking to Michael Brooks, who's the business manager at Wounded Knee. I was talking to him today, and that what a sight that would have been, to see the camp that stretched for miles and miles, knowing that was one of the greatest gathering of nations ever to be seen.
Maybe that was the last time, or maybe one, for a long, because that people were together, united. Yeah, and we always say, what's that one? United is the word, and I was up there. I didn't go up there for a long time, even in my younger days.
Okay.
And one day I went up there and I stood up there, and you just stand there and look around and say, how did these guys do this?
Right.
They were so. They have horsemanship. They were together. They help each other, and they have that. One of our Lakota values is fortitude.
Yes.
The courage, and also the bravery. They showed all that on that hill that day. And
there were 7th Cavalry soldiers that actually took off and went the other way. And how couldn't they? Just the fear alone of you had 15 and 16-year-old Lakota men. They were men at that time. Charging down on you. That would have been the scariest sight in the world. Knowing that the Lakota trying to preserve their hunting grounds, trying to preserve their way of life. That alone is worth dying for.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is the 7th Cavalry were obviously undermanned and outgunned, but on top of that, fortitude. They did not have the fortitude that the Lakota had.
Yeah, and there's men that the famous warriors that today are mentioned when, especially on June 25,
right?
Is Crazy Horse, Sitting Bull, Gaul, and there's others too.
Yes.
So these men were leaders. These men were when they walk into a camp. I heard this somewhere a long time ago, and when this man walks into a camp, you can tell that this person is a leader.
Yes.
And he has the will of the people.
That and the closest example I can come to that, and I'm not being biased here.
Yeah.
But was Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
He was an Oglala.
Yeah.
Oglala, to the core.
Mm-hmm.
But what made him so special was that he didn't want the accolades. He didn't want all the awards, and all he wanted was to preserve his way of life, the Lakota way of life.
Mm-hmm.
And he did have the will of the people.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't he didn't need to be a chief or hold some type of standing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That standing was given to him without arrogance, without any type of honors or
mm-hmm.
honors were just bestowed upon him.
Mm-hmm.
And his counterpart being Custer.
Mm-hmm.
Custer wanted those things. He wanted to be loved. He wanted to be a 5-star general. He wanted those things.
Yeah.
And that's you try to compare the two, and there's just to me, I don't want to be biased, but there's just no comparison.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Custer politically put himself in that position.
Yeah.
To eventually become a president. Where Crazy Horse, it was survival.
Yep.
You encroach on my land, I will make you pay the price.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Hatuna naruptana kamhenale hektak wanietu tunakchakir liloch ankhiblawa kishnash le June 25, 1876 when Lakota ki ptala kinajipina ihan kelet taktukhon kelele honia wokiksi hecho na tuni le honia tueni hecholokish le ukichize naishna kun tektel le uhia wanka na le oati kecha naicha kichijibi lena ihas la tektel anagoptana kamena le voya que KILI la otra que oyacapi oya está con la hel hinyan kixia pike hel lena heam petu que haska wapre waton hela wichasha point renum nice yamani waya isa waya wapre tonala wichaka suta le tokashi la tawapa kile hel wichakte chalehon ya kixia Lakota na kunshahila tahna hecho tahna wale hansna wichon kixia ona le wagla ke kilicho le hanwana tuktel wokixe kele on shungakan kaya hetkia yapi na hihan ya khota ha ke hechi honi na o hero wo yo on ha je chungta lena yani lena wichasha ke ha lena wichashi tancha hecha ona na oyate ke ha nai chakjishim ona lena oyate tawash ake ke cha yohap wichako atake ha lila wash akap yotas tail na hana ko levi choti ke he hata vanas na ko tukteni hecha se tail kinaji pishni na chet hecha ha di la was akap no anko ta konet shoma ta lila och ankha echum ochense ihas la pin tuktek مش ليلة مبراكن وطها إني لما كه عشان كده يونان كله يمكن هنا ويشونكي بس. You have any more?
No, I think you said it best.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm really glad that you're working at Wounded Knee School. That we have educators like you and Tabor and that Delmer. That we need to share these stories with our children, so that they know what happened, and that they know the names of the people that carried out this historical event that will never be forgotten.
No.
Names like Crazy Horse, Sitting Bull, Gall, and on and on. And what they did that day will never be
forgotten.
Yeah.
There's sometimes that, especially back in Michigan, that when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, they made the radio announcement, today is a day that will live in infamy. In 2 days, that if they had the radio, that same thing would have been announced. Today is a day that will live in infamy. Because it's a very important. Even the military today still go to Greasy Grass and study exactly what happened. What went wrong. What did the cavalry, United States Cavalry, what did they do wrong? They still study that today. Which is absolutely amazing.
Yep. It's it's encourage if you can, all you listeners out there, someday if you have never been there, go over there and stand up there and look around and think what happened back in 1876. That's only like how many years?
140 years,
something like that. 1876, 1976.
But that, and overall, the time that we've been here at Humans, that's a very short amount
time.
Of time.
That's short.
Very short amount of time.
That's only 100 and some years.
Right. And that's the thing is that I would like for people to come to the school.
Yeah.
Even if they have oral knowledge of exactly what happened, if they can pass that on to us and the children.
Yeah.
Because I know there's people out there that they might know stories in detail.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I want to hear is what was the sound like? What was the smell in the air? What exactly happened? That's because you can only read so much and take so much from a book. And that's what I really appreciate about my culture is the oral tradition. That it makes you feel alive. Like you were actually there. You really can't get that out of a book. That and I hope that people will stop by the school and if they have something to talk about. I mean,
especially during the summer hours that we have time to record and talk to your knowledge.
Yes.
And your information. So all you listeners out there, if you have time, stop by the school, Wounded Knee School.
Especially, because I'm a Crazy Horse. I've read 30 books. And just the knowledge. There's something there that just keeps me coming back. The next book is not enough. There has to be more books. And, we talked to Maria Randall. And she gave us, some insights Just a couple stories that I had never heard before, that I'd never read, because a lot of my knowledge comes from reading. And here I've been reading about Crazy Horse for 5 or 6 years. And here I meet this lady. In 5 or 6 minutes, she's telling me a story that is in no book. That's what I really appreciate from the listeners, to come by and speak. Just tell us, any type of information.
And that's why we always encourage community involvement, especially for all the schools.
Yes.
Anywhere, whether it's Rosebud or Pine Ridge, Eagle Butte, Standing Rock. We encourage parental involvement and community involvement.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk for Wounded Knee School. We really want to involve the parents and all you community people, the housing. Get involved with the school and learn what is going on. And this year we are going into Lakota immersion. That's really, it's something that is very hard to do, but you cannot wait for anybody.
Right.
You just have to do it.
I think that transition would be easier with community involvement. Stories, elders, moms and dads coming into the classroom. Basically, cultural immersion is basically what immersion.
That's what it is.
Immersing, our children, your children, into the Lakota culture.
And that's one of the things that I think our leader at the school encourages. He wants us to encourage the people to come and get involved. And if you have any questions, and another thing I would like to mention is that we do have a lot of resource people here on this reservation. We have a lot of people that really know our culture, the stories. So come and share, please. And like those people on Greasy Grass, they stood together. They were powerful. That's the way we would like to be. We would like to be united and work together instead of working in different places. Different directions. And we will be powerful.
Exactly.
I want to read one more little paragraph here. It says, this is all on that, back to Greasy Grass. Okay, it says here, in the end, the real meaning of Custer's Last Stand can't be measured in terms of good guys and bad guys. It's just one part of a story of two very different people who had two very different ways of life. June 25, 1876 will always be remembered as a turning point for the Lakota and Northern Cheyenne people and for the Army of the West. And it will always hold a bit of mystery for anyone who takes the time to learn more about the fascinating Battle of the Little Bighorn.
Yes.
And that's quite a story. That's quite a thing to remember. It's
the history
just gives you that. You sit there and just wonder,
right?
What it was that day.
Because they were the last, the last opposers of the United States Army to actually beat the United States Army at their own game.
They defeated the United States Army. That was the only battle the United States ever lost. So,
which is just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So once again, Friday is, I think it's holiday.
Yes, tribal holiday.
No work. I know I saw a sign at the school that says no work.
Right.
Because of the.
For a good reason.
Yeah, for a good reason. Okay, I have. You have any more?
Laverne Yankton.
Oh, yeah.
He's having the Crazy Horse Memorial.
Okay.
on Friday morning at 10 o'clock, everybody's meeting at the Manderson Post Office. Once again at 10 o'clock, we're going to be going down to Pepper Creek. And coming back into Manderson for food and a giveaway.
Food and giveaway.
And that will be in Manderson. I'm looking forward to that being, being into Crazy Horse. And Laverne is, doing this out of his own time, and I really appreciate that.
Yep. Okay, and I have one announcement here, and this is going to happen at Wounded Knee School, and it's a TPRS, Learning Language Technique, and the presenter will be Dr. Richard Littlebear, and it's going to happen on July 19, 20, and 21, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. Dr. Littlebear is the president of Chief Dull Knife College, and he will be presenting a therapeutic training workshop on TPRS, Total Physical Response Storytelling, which is an experimental method for teaching Lakota language learners. So I'll make this announcement again next week, and so if you have time and if you want to improve your language technique, and you don't have to be a teacher to come.
Right.
Just come and learn what we are doing for the Lakota language.
Cultural immersion.
So, and for more information, call Wendy at 605-867-4350 on Wounded Knee School. And there is a cost, and she will tell you about that, and it's not that much.
Right.
And the cost is, I think it's for food.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can eat every day. And the other announcement I have is, this is especially for the Tioshpai, the ones that are active and organized, and there's a lot of them here on this reservation. And one of the Tioshpai leaders, Nacha, we lost him 2 years ago, I think. And they're having a memorial for him in Dupree, South Dakota. And this will happen on Saturday, and it starts in the morning, on June 26th at 10 a.m. And first they're going to have, and this is also a memorial for Paul High Elk. That's, they're having old man's breakaway roping. First prize is $400, trophy, saddle, and a jacket. Wow, so if you can rope,
I'd like
get up
a saddle.
Second prize, $300, and a jacket.
I'll take the $300.
Yeah. Third prize, $200 in jacket. I'll take that.
I'll still take them both.
Fourth prize, $100. I'll even take that $100.
Still take that.
Okay, tie down roping. It says $400 first prize, trophy, saddle, and jacket. Oh,
still nice.
Second prize is $300 in jacket. Third prize, $200 in jacket. Fourth prize, $100 in a jacket. Tie down roping and the old man's breakaways. All you Pteole Wichasha, this cowboy.
Yep.
Get up to Dupree and try your luck. And then they're having the memorial for the Tioshpai Nacha. And that'll start after the rodeo. I imagine it's going to be around, if the rodeo's at 10, it'll probably be about 1 or 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And there's it's going to be, let's see, there will be a feed and giveaway. And then there's going to be some naming ceremonies. So especially all you Tioshpai leaders out there, I know you know who you are. You're invited on June 26th in Dupree, South Dakota. That is all the announcements we have, and I have some questions here. We have about 2 minutes, so I have 4 questions here. See if we can answer them, and then after that we can close it up. And I got these questions last week from the training at Standing Rock, and maybe we'll just do 2 of them. And there's 13 of them, but we'll just do 2 of them. I think these are really important, these questions. Okay, this is number 2 in the question. The question says, what do you see as the principal, let me see, the principal obstacle or hindrance to our language survival, the Lakota language revitalization effort? There's obstacles. But I know there's a lot of obstacles. Okay, now here's the answers that they came up with. I'll give you the answers. Let's see, maybe you can comment on that. Okay. We have obstacles to in teaching the Lakota language. We have obstacles in getting together to really make language work. Okay, now here's what they say. We fall down with sacredness. The word wakan. Sometimes we make the language. We'll say it's wakan, and then it scares people.
Right.
It scares our learners away.
Exactly.
So we need to really think about that. And I've heard this before, and it came back again. Okay. And then it says here that the system. It says here, the way the system is set up for learning, as long as we have that system, it will be difficult to get immersion going well. Okay, I think what they're saying here is that maybe many years back, or even today maybe, the schools are set up, or the system is set up for English learning.
Exactly.
See, not culture. So now we need to change that and make it into Lakota learning, Lakota thinking.
Lakota culture.
Culture, yeah. And really work on the language. I think that's what they're saying right there.
Yeah, the language would not really fall in place because you know it has to be studied and learned.
Yes.
But it would be so much easier to learn that once you have your
the school, the setting.
That's exactly what it is.
Teachers and also like the person in charge, and also the community.
Exactly.
The parents. Like that.
And that's a lot of people have to come out of their shells. Yeah. To really make this happen.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's the important thing. And then it says here, bridge the gap between the speakers and the learners. So in other words, we really need to work together. Again, the togetherness comes in there again. So just because you are a fluent speaker, don't just work yourself alone here. You have to always bring in everybody.
And part of it says bridging the gap.
Yeah.
A family member can help bridge that gap.
Yeah.
If a family member is fluent in Lakota, that can help bridge that gap between a teacher and the student.
Yes.
And that's why it's still important. The community involvement. And it goes right back to that. To bridge that gap is to be proactive with the teachers and help the students along. To be that bridge, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles.
Kachalel bo yung rohi kile taku cha thoshwa phephe inshnakun taku cha takun kusheshe ya ke Lakota ya pikile wa she chunkompil hohe wa ifte in khan leapi le Watons na le iapi kile wa kankangap. Na chima kan o as na ko as he iwang wo iwang kecha. Ganash na le tchecha speech chap kile na khokip khewich. Ata speech chap. Ko he. When I knew pa ke hens le oya kile na Hani tekta ke wani tu kchemna nupa is kchemna yamne waya lena ahiglepi waya lena le wiung kchem ki leshne le wuyu kchem ki le washichu wuyu kchem hohe das ahiglep kchem ke le iapi ki le he lila in washakish hohe das wiped. Maybe these other ones will bring them next time again.
Right.
And you're invited again
okay.
next time if you
Definitely.
want. So you did a good job.
Oh, thank you very much.
And then I'm really glad that you decided to come back to the Lakota culture and learn and
makes me more of a, like I said, not more rounded person, but I'm so much more full on the inside.
Well, don't eat too much; you might get round. Yeah,
definitely. But I'd like to thank KILI Radio for allowing me to be here.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that, and I'm just so happy to be here. Because this is where it all began for my family. So,
So
KILI. I would also like to tell Davis Ghost, my cousin Davis, and Frank Ghost out there. I told him I'd tell them both hi. So
yeah.
And
Pilau yapela anawta nakabhena, and I will turn it back over to Toshka Hercules. Wo pilat hanka yelo.